All right, hopefully estimating decimal sums went super fabulous yesterday, and your homework, you got like an awesome grade on that because we are headed into estimating decimal differences. Same exact thing as estimating decimal sums. You're just going to now subtract. So today should be kind of a review of yesterday. So let's take a look at our lesson. We're on 11-2. Remember, you're keeping track of what your classwork and your homework is for each day. Blue morpho butterflies live in the tropical rainforests of Latin America. During one study, the smallest butterfly found had a wingspan of 4 and 67/100 inches, and the largest had a wingspan of 7 and 28 inches. What is the approximate difference in wingspan? We notice that if we're talking about difference, we are going to be subtracting. And we know that if we see words like approximate, we are going to be estimating. So we are estimating the difference between the two by subtracting. Again, we are not going to use front-end estimation. Whenever you see that, just go ahead and put that out of your mind. We are only going to use the rounding. So let's do this example with the butterfly. We've got 7 and 28 inches, and we're going to subtract 4 and 67. But we want an estimate, right? We don't want to get into all of the nitty-gritty of that math work. We're just going to estimate. Same rule applies. Find which of your numbers is the least number. That would be the 4, not the 7. And you're going to round it to the furthest to the left, the biggest digit that is not a 0, which is right here. So you can tell you're going to be rounding to the nearest whole. All right? So if you're rounding to the nearest whole, look to the right. This is the judge. The 2 tells the 7 it gets to stay the same. So you can either leave it 7, or you could change all the rest of the digits to zeros, whichever is easiest for you to stay organized. The 4, you look to the right. The 6 tells the 4, raise the score to a 5. So the approximate difference is going to be 2, or 2.00 if you've done it that way. The answer is going to be approximately 2 inches. All right, so let's do a couple examples using subtraction so that you feel comfortable going ahead and doing your work. Okay, let's head down here to some of these that are a little bit different. Like right here, let's do number 24. We're finding the difference between 7/10 and 38/100. Now, which one is bigger of those two? Sometimes you want to, remember back when we were doing comparing decimals? Some of you are going to want to say, oh, 38 is bigger than 7, so this one's bigger. But it's not, because remember, you're taking your finger and you're starting at the left and you're going to the right. This one has 7/10, and this one only has 3/10. So it doesn't really matter how many hundredths there are, because already you can tell 7/10 is greater than 3/10. So this is going to be the bigger, this is going to be the smaller. So let's do this example. Let me see if I can find a spot here. Let's do it over here. We've got 7/10, and we've got 38/100. And we want to change both of those. I'm going to run out of space here. So let's go ahead and move them down here. 7/10 and 38/100. We're going to decide first which one of these is the bigger number. Let me rewrite these. This is just a little bit too messy for me. And messy math always makes mistakes, so we're not going to do that. 7/10 minus 38/100. We're subtracting them. Let's rewrite that. Which one of these is less? Let me see. We already decided that 3/10 is less than 7/10. So this is your smaller number, even though it doesn't look like it. Make sure you pay attention to that. Now, we're going to round it to the digit to the furthest to the left. That is not a 0, so that's right here, okay? So we're going to round it to this spot, the 10th spot. Both numbers get rounded to the 10th spot. So 7/10, you look to the right, there's nothing there, so really it's a 0. It tells the 7 it can stay the same. You look at this 10th spot, you look to the right, the 100th spot is an 8. That tells this 3, you gotta raise that score to a 4. Now we have a difference of 7/10 and 4/10, and our answer would be 3/10 for this one. Okay, so hopefully that gives you a good idea of how to subtract decimals using estimation, how to get an estimate, not the actual answer. So for all of your work on this page, you are not going to be finding the actual answer. You are simply finding an estimate, all right? By rounding, by finding the place value of the smaller number all the way to the biggest place value that isn't a 0. That's the spot that you're going to round everything to. All right, good luck. You're going to do great on your homework.